Hello student, this is the first part of the lesson Nazism and Rise of Hitler. History lesson 3rd, part 1, Nazism and Rise of Hitler. So in this lesson, Nazism and Rise of Hitler, uh, subject matter what we are discussing here or syllabus of this lesson, Nazism and Rise of Hitler. So here we will discuss the growth of social democracy. What? That is growth of social democracy. Then the crisis in Germany. Some crisis problems created in the Germany. So which are the crises arose in the Germany that we will discuss. Then basis of Hitler rise to power means what conditions were there that Hitler that came or Hitler's rise to power in the Germany. So which conditions were there? Then ideology of Nazism. Nazi, it is the party, and ideology of that party is called here the Nazism. And impact of Nazism. What were the impact of the Nazism? All this is the subject matter of this Nazism and rise of Hitler. So, in short, or in the introductory, we'll discuss here actual this page. It is story about the Helmut given here, but actual lessons start from the birth of Weimar Republic. So, in short, we discuss here after the defeat of the Imperial Germany का डिफीट होने के बाद and when that was at the end of First World War means end of First World War means 1918 it was the end of First World War means defeat of the Imperial Germany means defeat of the Imperial Germany, that was end of First World War means 1918. Then what happened there? King Kaiser William II fled to Holland. Where he fled? कहाँ भाग गया? Holland में. For what? To save his life, because defeat taken place of the Germany in Second World War. So taking this opportunity, इस opportunity का benefit लेते हुए parliamentary parties they met at Weimar and establish republic. What they established? They established in Germany republic on November 1980 and popularly known as Weimar Republic, and that was popularly known was what government was there, that is Weimar Republic. Means after the this is the incidence of the defeat of Germany in First World War. In November 1918, government formed there, which was known as Weimar Republic. The republic had to face many problems. Here Weimar Republic had to face many problems, some which are given below. So which are these problem detail? We'll see it again. But just for the introductory, the term and condition of the Treaty of Versailles were harsh, too harsh and humiliating. So terms and condition imposed by the Treaty of Versailles. After the defeat, treaty taken place between the winner nation and uh, German, where the treaty taken place Versailles, and some harsh and humiliating condition imposed on the Germany. So what were the harsh conditions as per this treaty? Here Germany lost overseas colony, whatever Germany had the control countries or overseas colonies. Out of that, 13% of its territories, out of that 13% of its territories and 75% of its iron and 26% of the coal reserved to the France, Poland, Denmark and Lithuania. So Germany lost this because of through the Treaty of Versailles. Then Germany had to agree to pay the huge war compensation. Huge war compensation means whatever expenditure done in this First World War of the Allies. So that recover from the Germany, and that is called the war compensation, and that amount was very huge, to 6 billion pound. 6 billion pound to the allied country, means Germany had to give the 6 billion pound to the allied country as per this treaty. Then third one, Germany had fought the war largely on the loans and had to pay the war reparation in the gold. So Germany participate in this war by taking large amount of the loan. Then everywhere in the Germany there was devastation. This one was the situation of Germany. That was everywhere was the devastation. Means people, they were upset because of not getting the food or not getting the work. Starvation and despair. People were helpless. So the Weimar Republic had to face many difficulties. Weimar Republic had to face what? Many difficulties since its beginning. Means this is the situation of after the First World War and defeated by the Allies to Germany. Then year of depression, what we are going to discuss in this lesson, that is year of depression. So fearing fall in the prices, people made fantastic effort to sell their shares. डर के मारे जो भी लोगों ने इन्वेस्ट किया था इन द फॉर्म ऑफ शेयर, they started withdrawing this share. On one single day, near 24 October, 13 million shares they were sold. This was then start the Great Economic Depression because of withdrawing the 13 million shares because of the fear. They were sold, and Great Economic Depression that was started over the next 3 years between 1929 to 1932. These 3 years they were of the Great Depression. The national income of USA fell by half, और USA का जो national income था वो आधे पर ही आया था बिकॉज ऑफ दिस ग्रेट डिप्रेशन ऑफ दिस ईयर 1929 to 32. Then German economy was worst hit by the economic crisis. इकोनॉमिक क्राइसिस के कारण जर्मन की इकोनॉमी जो थी वो दैट वाज वर्सली हिट और इफेक्टेड. And by 1932 industrial production was reduced. Industrial production that was reduced to 40% 1929 level. Workers lost their jobs and were paid reduced wages. उनके wages भी बहुत ही कम हुए थे. They were getting very or reduced wages. The economic crisis created deep anxiety. People or youth, they were very helpless. Anxieties were there in place of them and fear in the people. So these are the consequences in Germany after the defeat in First World War. So the government failed to control this crisis, and newly Republic government, Weimar government, that failed to control this crisis, and people lost confidence in the democratic parliamentary system. So the crisis in economy, polity and society formed the background to Hitler's rise of the power. So how Hitler came in the power, or what situations were there for coming power to the Hitler? That crisis in the economy, this crisis were arise in the Germany after the First World War, and economy, then even the polity and society form the background to Hitler's rise in power. तो ये सभी background that lead to come or rise Hitler to the power. So the German defeat in First World War horrified him, and Treaty of Versailles made him furious. Versailles Treaty that made him very furious. And in 1990 he joined the German Workers' Party. So in 1990 Hitler, we are talking about the how Hitler came in the power in Germany. So in 1990 means after the First World War, after the defeat of Germany, Hitler joined which party? German Worker Party. Then afterward he renamed in the National Socialist German Worker Party. Means rename of this party after the joining, that became the National Socialist German Workers Party, which later came to be known as Nazi Party. और उसका बाद में नाम कौन सा हुआ? Nazi Party. Means it is about the Hitler joined in which year this party? 1990. And at that time name of this party was German Workers Party, and then rename, and after that it became very familiar, that is about Nazi Party. So the main causes of the rise of Hitler in the Germany, what were main causes for the rise of Hitler in the Germany? First, that was the Treaty of Versailles, that was very humiliating for the German people. Then economic crisis were there when share market market fall down. Economic crisis arise in the USA and effects of this fall on the Germany. Then political turmoil means political instability, and then Germany had no faith in the democracy. जर्मनी को डेमोक्रेसी में कोई फेथ नहीं रही, भरोसा नहीं रहा, ट्रस्ट नहीं रहा. एंड important thing was that Hitler's personality or his powerful speeches. So all these are the reason we'll discuss detail in the lesson, that main causes of the rise of Hitler in the Germany. Just we have seen the points. Then cheap future of the Nazi thinking. Nazi, that was the party of Germany, and what was the Nazi thinking? So the state is above all. Nazi's thinking was state is above all. Nazi party consider Germany superior. Nazi party जर्मनी को क्या कंसिडर करते थे? सुपेरियर टू ऑल अदर नेशन. बाकी सभी नेशन से कंपेयर करते हुए जर्मनी को सुपेरियर कहते थे. विच पार्टी? नाजी पार्टी. एंड वांटेड टू हैव हर इन्फ्लुएंस ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड. मीन्स नाजी पार्टीज इन्फ्लुएंस दे वांटेड टू पुट ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड. वाज द आइडियोलॉजी or thinking of the Nazi. It aimed at expanding German empire. Their aim was what? To extend German empire and acquiring all those colonies. Acquiring what? All those colonies that were snatched away from her. Snatched away means taken away in the First World War. That all colonies which were belonging to the Germany, they have to take back. This one was also one of the Nazi thinking. Then on getting the powers, Hitler started abolishing the democratic rule. Means on getting the powers, Hitler started what? Abolishing the democratic rule, whatever rule was there of the democratic. So he wanted, after getting the power of Germany, he started abolishing that democratic rule. And communists were severely suppressed. Communists were severely suppressed. They were sent to the concentration camp. So, whatever communists were there, those who were opposing to Nazi ideology, where they were sent to the concentration camp. Concentration camp, that was the place for getting the punishment by the Nazi. And on 3rd March 1933, 3rd March 1933, what happened? The famous Enabling Act that was passed by the Hitler. This act established Hitler dictatorship in Germany, and as per this Enabling Act introduced in 1933, Hitler became the dictator or dictatorship in the Germany. And all the other political parties and trade unions were banned. All other political parties and trade unions were banned as per this famous Enabling Act. The state established complete control over the economy. Means total control that was bought or established by the state. State established complete control over what? Economy. Then media also, and army and judiciary. In democracy, all these are the independent institutions. They are not in the control of state. But here state establish control all these institution or in even though in economy. Special observation and security forces, they were created to control and other society in the way that Nazi wanted. Then after that, Hitler started to restructure Germany. What Hitler wanted here, to restructure the Germany. जर्मनी को restructure करना चाहते थे. He gave first priority to economic recovery because economy was that was decreased, and this year they were of the depression after the First World War. Depression that became very severe in 1929 and 32. So first priority was there to promote or recovery of the economy, and for this purpose he gave the responsibility to economic recovery to whom? That is economist whose name was Hjalmar Schacht. In order to accumulate resources, Hitler planned to expand his territory. In order to accumulate the resources, Hitler, what was the planning of Hitler? Hitler planned to expand his territories. In September 1939, Germany invaded. To whom? Where? That is Poland. This started the war with the France and England. After when 1939 Germany taken initiative for the invading Poland, and because of this act of the Germany started war with the France and England. Means it was also the starting of Second World War. Then Tripartite Pact was signed. Which pact was signed? Agreement. Pact means agreement. Tripartite. Between Germany, Italy, Japan in September 1940. Strengthening Hitler's claim to international power. Means he was pinnacle of the power. Then we will discuss here about the US enter in the Second World War. How was the entry of US in the Second World War? That we will also discuss in deeply. Then establish of the racial state. Hitler established racial state. Nazi wanted a society of pure and healthy Nordic Aryan. To execute their plan, they wanted to eliminate all those who were seen as undesirable. Nordic Aryan alone were considered a desire, and only they were seen as worthy for the prospecting and multiplying against all other who were class C, or who were classed as undesirable. And Jews faced the worst of time under the Nazis. Jews को बहुत ही कठिन Jews, they had to face the worst of time. For them that was very worst of the time under the Nazism. So Jews, then Gypsies, Russians and Poles and black living in the Nazi Germany, all these were considered inferior. They were considered what? Inferior or undesirable. So they were widely ill-treated. And these people, they were ill-treated by the Nazism. Then Jews remain the worst sufferers. इन द नाजी जर्मनी सबसे ज़्यादा सफर कौन सी कम्युनिटी रही? जूज. They were often persecuted. They were often persecuted through the periodic organized violence and expulsion from the land. So Nazi state used both the method. Nazi state used both this method, that is rewarding and punishing the citizens for their cooperation and non-cooperation in leading their lives and according to the dictate of the Nazi party. Then Hitler demolished democracy. Hitler, they demolished democracy. All political parties except the Nazi party were banned, and Nazi ideology was spread. That Nazi ideology was spread using images, films, radio, posters, slogan, and the pamphlets. Means they wanted to promote only Nazi ideology, or they were superior, and all other communities, they were inferior, and they were getting treated very badly. Hitler felt that strong Nazi society could be established only by teaching the children Nazi ideology. Means strong Nazi society कब establish कर सकते हैं? Only by teaching the children of Nazi ideology. बच्चों को भी Nazi ideology सिखाने के बाद ही हम Nazi society we can form. Hitler felt that strong Nazi society could be established. At school were clean and purified, which means that teachers who were Jews or seen as a politically unreliable were dismissed, and German and Jews were not allowed to sit together or to play together. Then undesirable children, that is Jews, the physically handicapped, even the gypsies, they were thrown out of school. And finally in 1940 they were taken to the gas chamber just for giving the punishment. School textbooks, they were rewritten, and racial science was introduced to just Nazi ideas of the race. And 10 years old had to enter the jungle. Means there were different organizations. We'll discuss in the detail later on. So here actual lesson starts from the birth of Weimar Republic. But before to that, story is given in this page of the starting. So we'll go through this. In the spring of 1945, means this is the period of Second World War. Little 11-year-old German boy, called, whose name was Helmut, was lying in the bed. वो छोटा बच्चा हेलमत नाम का बेड पर था. He was lying in the bed when he overheard his parents discussing. जब उन्होंने अपने पेरेंट्स का डिस्कसिंग सुना था. It is the incidents of 1945, means of the Second World War. After the Second World War, something is in serious tone. Means Helmut's parents, they were discussing something in the serious tone. His father, Helmut's father, was a prominent physician. Who was he? Prominent or important physician. Delivered with his wife, means Helmut's mother. whether the time had come to kill the entire family or if he should commit suicide alone. उन्होंने डिस्कस किया, हेलमत के फादर ने उसके वाइफ के साथ, हेलमत के मदर के साथ, कि ये टाइम आ गया अभी कि सभी फैमिली ने सुसाइड करना, किल करना, या मुझे ही सुसाइड करना. So his father spoke about his fear of the revenge. His father spoke about what? His fear, उसका डर था of the revenge, saying, now the allies will do to us what we did to the Crips and Jews. तो हेलमत के जो पिता थे, इन्होंने कहा कि हमने जैसे जूस पर वी गिवन देम रस्ट और बैड ट्रीटेड, वी ट्रीटेड very worstly, bad treatment given to them. And now, after the defeat in the Second World War, the allies means winner countries, they will do the same thing with us. The next day, so incidents of the next day, he took helmet. इन्होंने हेलमत को साथ लिया, इसके फादर ने, नेक्स्ट डे टू द वुड्स वेयर दे स्पेंड देयर लास्ट हैप्पी टाइम टुगेदर. दूसरे दिन अपने बच्चों को उसने मीन्स हेलमत को बाहर लेके गए, वेयर ही स्पेंड लास्ट टाइम हैप्पीली विथ हिम, सिंगिंग ओल्ड चिल्ड्रंस सॉन्ग ऑल्सो. एंड लेटर हेलमट्स फादर शॉट हिमसेल्फ इन हिज ऑफिस, और अपने ही ऑफिस में हेलमत के फादर ने खुद को शूट किया, सुसाइड किया. हेलमत रिमेंबर दैट ही सॉ हिज फादर ब्लडी यूनिफॉर्म. he remembered that Helmut, he was 11-year boy, he remembered that he saw his father's bloody uniform when he shot himself being burnt in the family fireplace, और बर्न किया है फैमिली फायर प्लेस में. So traumatized was he by what he had overheard and what had happened. So Helmut, little 11-year boy Helmut, he was very so traumatized, means उस दिल पर असर हुआ, that was very traumatic or tragic experience for him, that what he heard overnight and what happened in the next day, that he reacted by refusing to eat at home for the following 9 years. और इन्होंने डर के कारण हेलमत ने ही रिफ्यूज्ड फूड, eating food at the home for next 9 years because he had fear. He was afraid, वो बहुत ही डरा हुआ था, that his mother might poison him to kill himself also or attempt to suicide. Although Helmut may not have realized all that it meant, his father had been a supporter of Adolf Hitler. So Helmut's father, who shot himself, he was the supporter of Hitler, means belonging to the Nazi party, and Nazi party treated badly with this other people. So many of you will know something about the Nazi and Hitler. So there would be the curiosity of Nazi and Hitler, because this Helmut father, he was the supporter of Adolf Hitler, and Hitler defeated in the Second World War also, and there was fear in place of the Hitler also and other Nazi or supporter of Hitler. Helmut's father was one of them, of the supporter of Hitler. So you probably know of the Hitler's determination to make the Germany into mighty power, and his ambition of conquering all of the Europe. Means here Hitler's ambition was that to make the Germany as a mighty power and conquering all Europe, means all European countries have to control by the German. This one was the ambition. This one was the ambition of whose? That of the Hitler. So you have heard that he killed Jews, but Nazism was not one or two isolated acts. It was a system. Nazism, that was the system, a structure of ideas about the world and politics. So let us try to understand what Nazism was all about. Let us see why Helmut's father killed himself. ये भी देखेंगे कि हेलमत के फादर ने क्यों खुद को ख़त्म किया. Why he killed himself and what the basis of his fear was. और उसके डर का कारण क्या था. So in the May 1945, Germany surrendered to the Allies. May 1945 में, after the defeat in Second World War, Germany surrendered to Allies, and anticipating what was coming, Hitler, his propaganda minister, Globulus, and his entire family committed suicide. हिटलर और उसका जो मिनिस्टर था Globulus and his entire family, they committed suicide collectively, where in his Berlin bunker in April. And at the end of war, International Military Tribunal at the Nuremberg was set up to prosecute के लिए क्या सेटअप हुआ था. इंटरनेशनल मिलिट्री ट्रिब्यूनल, वेयर दैट वाज इन द Nuremberg. For what purpose? Nazi were criminals. Nazi were basically criminals for the crimes against the peace, for the war crimes and crime against the humanity. Means whatever Nazi gave the ill treatment, or they were against the peace. Nazi were against the peace for the war crimes and crimes against the humanity. Their crimes were against the humanity. Humanity के खिलाफ उसके crimes थे. Then Germany conduct during the war. German conduct during the war, especially those action came to be called the crimes against the humanity, raised the serious moral and ethical question, invited worldwide condemnation, means worldwide criticism हुआ, condemnation हुआ, this act of the Nazi or crime against the humanity. So what were these acts that we we will discuss in the next part. Thank you, student.